Apologies for the delay. I've got Noah here with me tonight. Live now. Sambal Prawns. Which creative. Which Jackie and Rob. Keep it. Publish. Okay, am I on screen? Hang on a sec. Says I'm streaming live. Hi guys, it's Jackie M here. Hope you had a great break over Easter. I am on my own today online. I don't have an assistant, I don't have a moderator, so behave yourselves. But don't behave yourselves, it's not my problem because I will scum. I will screenshot any troll comments. But anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. Tonight I've got Noah with me, my Down syndrome toddler, so he's going to be disruptive. I expect him to be disruptive, so you're going to have to tolerate it. And thanks again for everyone for joining me. If you don't know me, my name is Jackie M, and I am a Malaysian-born, Sydney, Australia-based street food specialist, former restaurateur and all that sort of stuff, and I broadcast live 3 times a week on Twitch, URL of which is jackiem.live. If you're watching this anywhere else at all, this is being shared across my social media platforms, but if you're watching this anywhere else at all, I can't see your comments, so you need to hop over to Twitch. Like I said, the URL is just jackiem.live, and I should be able to see your comments, assuming I'm not too distracted by Noah and by my cooking as well. If you're watching this from YouTube and expect this to be a short, sweet, highly edited video, then go away now. This is not it. This is a live broadcast where I take like an hour plus to cook something. You just have to stick around and watch it. If you think I talk too much, go away now. I don't care about your opinion. If you don't understand my English, that's just too bad. Go away as well, okay? Now that we've got the formalities out of the way, just a quick shout out to Lenovo Australia. For the laptop I'm using for my live broadcast, I'm using a Lenovo IdeaPad Y700 gaming laptop, and also Rode Australia for the microphone I use for my broadcast. And also today I am making 2 dishes. Hopefully it won't take up too much of my time, because like I say, I always feel a little bit rushed off my feet when I've got Noah with me, because he wants the attention and he's going to try and disrupt things as much as possible. And that's part of the reason why as well you'll see that I've got more clutter on my work space, alright, because if I have them out of too far away, Noah's going to just start throwing them off the table. But anyway, 2 dishes I'm making. One is serunding. Serunding basically is just a Malay word for spicy meat floss. It can come in lots of different forms. It can just be like coconut crisps. It can be fish. It can be chicken. It can be beef, right? And the Malay version of meat floss is different from the Chinese one in that it usually has some curry spices in. Sort of like through it, right? The Chinese are big on meat floss as well, but the flavors are quite different. Okay, concept is fairly similar, but flavors are quite different. So I'm making the Malay version today, and again it's simplified so that you can attempt it at home. The other thing I'm looking to make is some sambal prawns. Sambal is just a generic term that we use to refer to a lot of different types of dishes. Okay, so there's not just one sambal, but generally sambal would contain chili and onion. Okay, and the version I'm making today is going to have some coconut milk, and I'm making cooking prawns with it. I am actually using capsicum instead of chilies, but I might throw in some chili flakes in them as well. The reason for it is because these capsicums were super cheap, and I thought it would be a good idea as well to kind of show you guys that you can actually make a decent sambal that's got no heat in it as well, if that's what you want, right? But that retains the same kind of flavor profile as a strong hot chili sambal. Okay, so let's get on to the serunding, right? Now I've got some chicken I've got some poached chicken pieces that I actually stuck in my blender and whisked up a few days ago. This is what it looks like, right? Okay, so this was just chicken that I had left over from my business. If you don't know me, I run a Malaysian food business on a very, very small scale now. Most of the time I do online stuff, right? But I do still, in fact, run a real world Malaysian food business. Like I say, I just sell food 1 day a week, right? And I usually have leftover scraps here and there. So leftover chicken, cooked chicken that's been stuck through my thermocook for a few seconds to turn them into these little granules. I'm going to use some onions, right? Sambal ingredients are usually fairly standard. Onion, garlic, sambal serunding, curry spice ingredients, right? They're all fairly standard. So onion, I'm going to basically use the onion for both recipes essentially. And I've got some garlic over here, right? Hey, Stephen, good to see you. That's very cool. Yeah. Okay, so these are basically peeled garlic cloves. I'm lucky enough that I live in Australia where we get a lot of these. I don't know whether you can get them easily in North America, but peeled, basically they're just garlic, but they're already peeled up for you, okay? And I can buy a big bag of it here. That's 1 kilo, which is 2.2 pounds worth for about $7 Aussie, which is about $5 American, I guess. So I'm just gonna, you see the amount of garlic I've got. I know a lot of Western recipes, when they talk about using garlic, they talk about using 1 or 2 cloves, right? You see the amount I'm using here. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 here. I do use a lot of garlic in my cooking. Now, for sambal, for this particular recipe, you can actually omit it, but I do like my garlic, so I'm going to leave it in, okay? My mom, when she makes this particular dish, she does not use it, right? Like I said, I'm actually processing the onion garlic sauce and then using it in the 2 different recipes, but the flavor profiles are going to be quite different. It's just the base, what we call the rempah. Rempah means the spice, means the spice paste. The rempah ingredients are quite similar, okay? And I've got lemongrass here, which I'm not going to, thanks for hosting. This is just a really dried up lemongrass that I'm just going to tie up into a knot, right? Usually you can either mince it or you can use it wholesale like this, tied up in a knot and usually bruised, but this is so old and kind of like with a sort of thing, I'm just going to tie it up, right? And that just kind of gives it a nice little flavor to it. You can leave it out if you don't have it, no big drama, okay guys? So don't stress out if you're missing certain ingredients that you can't find in your part of the world. If you know anyone who wants to collaborate with me over in your part of the world, in North America or anywhere else for that matter, places that are just really that little bit too far away from Asia, I'd love to hear from them because it would really help me to understand ingredient availability, right? I've been to the States before. I've been there about 5 times now, but it's like, you know, when I'm there, I'm not actively cooking really, unless I'm just doing like a little dinner parties or something like that. When I go to the States, I'm there as a tourist. I'm not there as a cook. I'm not so far anyway. So I don't get to check out your Asian food scene as much as I would like, right? So anyone over there interested in collaborating, tell me. And then we can maybe do some videos together. We can collaborate on some recipes or whatever. Okay. I don't know if you can hear the whizzing sound in the background, but that's basically I'm cooking some rice over there. This is going to be our dinner, okay? And I can't believe no one's actually kind of left me alone so far. So I've got 2 onions. I've got a feeling maybe okay, I'm going to grab another one. Okay, so I'm going to puree these 2 onions along with the garlic, but I'm going to have some more onion that's going to be sliced up, okay? And that's going to be for the second recipe, which is the sambal. But let's sort this bit out first. I'm just going to cut it into quarters. Right. And these are all going into my thermo cook just to use the blending function. You can, in fact, actually, like after you blend it in your thermo cook, you can then actually add other ingredients to it and turn it on for it to cook for you. But I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm going to actually cook it over here, okay? So you can actually see what happens. And by the way, I mentioned earlier today on social media about these giveaways, so stick around and I will tell you more about these Bon Maman jams, preserves that I've got available for giveaways. So stick around to the end and I'll explain what's involved and all that sort of stuff, okay? So okay, so this is in the paste, and remember my chicken, I'm gonna toss it in. And I'm going to throw in some curry powder to this, okay? Now I'm using, this is a Malaysian brand, okay, and it says here, Serunding curry daging, which means meat curry powder. Okay, it doesn't matter if you can't get this, you can get any type of curry powder. But generally, if you buy Malaysian brands of curry powder, you will find that they are kind of like classified broadly into 3 different categories. They call them meat curry powder, fish curry powder, and rendang curry powder, okay? It doesn't mean that this actually contains any meat, it doesn't, right? But it just basically means that the composition of spices in it lend itself most suitable to meat dishes, okay? But that's all it means. And even then, right, I have in fact used fish curry powder to cook meat curries with, okay, to cook a lamb curry, which used to be very popular at my restaurant. Okay, I'm just dry frying this a little bit because I don't want this to spit too much. I'm just going to turn up the heat a bit more. And I'm going to add the onion / garlic mixture here. So I'm using about half of it. And I'm going to grab some oil. And the other ingredient I'm going to add to this are coconut, dried coconut shreds, okay? So this is quite dry. I don't have to worry about it spitting, so I'm going to add the oil now. And you want to fry it. Every time you fry a Malaysian spice paste, you want to fry it so the onion browns up, okay? You don't want to just like soften the onion. You don't want to just kind of like caramelize it. You really want to brown it up, okay? And I don't know if you have the luxury. It looks like I've turned this off by accident, or this has gone off on its own accord. Okay. Okay. Did I just trip something? Looks like I've just tripped something. Give me a second. better. I think I unplugged it by accident or something. I wonder not much was happening with this. So basically so far I've got chicken, minced chicken, cooked minced chicken. And that's a great way to use up like leftover chicken I found, okay? It's a bit of a pain if you were making karusik from scratch and you actually had to poach the chicken first, let it cool down, shred it. Usually they shred it by hand, okay, in all honesty. So using the food processor is a little bit of a cheat thing that I kind of like apply to my recipe, okay? But it saves time and that's all that matters. Okay, now I'm gonna add some desiccated coconut to this. You're gonna find, if you follow me long enough, I mean, you don't even have to follow me long enough, but I very rarely measure things at all. Sometimes I do just, you know, for the sake of it. It really depends on the recipe, right? If you're baking cakes, you do need to be a little bit more precise. But cooking like Malaysian food, I'm generally, you know, I try to be instinctive in how much I put in, okay? So this frustrates people who are just starting out. It frustrates a lot of men because I find that men like to kind of measure things right down to, they think this is like a, you know, cooking is a science, right? Whereas to me, cooking is really kind of like more of an art. Okay, so this is just frying up quite rapidly now because apparently I didn't have that pan turned on earlier. You can hear the sizzling a little bit, and that's from the moisture in the onion, okay? I didn't hear the sizzle earlier, and I thought, okay, maybe it's maybe all the moisture got absorbed by the chicken. So apparently not. Apparently it was because I didn't have this on. Hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. You hungry? You wanna eat? Eat. Yeah, you wanna say hello? Come, let's say hello to everyone. Here you go. Say hello. Yeah, good boy. You gotta say hello up there, baby. Up there. Up there. Hey. You're looking in the wrong way, baby. You're looking in the wrong way. Okay, so this smells like a typical dry curry at the moment. I'm gonna add other stuff to this, but I wanna, like I said, brown up the onion still, okay? I'm going to add a few other ingredients to this. I have done this before in my thermo cook and my thermo mix, right? But I don't know if I've ever actually fried it up from scratch in a frying pan. Okay, let's turn this up some more. And now I'm going to add some seasoning ingredients to this. Hi, sweetheart. Here we go. You want to put gloves on? You want to put gloves on? Yeah? Here you go. Now give me your hand. You want to put it on like this? No? You want to put it on? No? Okay. Okay, you don't want it. You don't want it. Here we go. You're going to find with a lot of Malay recipes, right, as on my own recipe books, as far as seasoning that goes into this, they're going to just say salt, right? Look, that doesn't usually cut it for me, okay? I usually like to balance out the flavor with a little bit of sugar. I mean, sometimes they say salt and sugar to taste, right? But I also like to use chicken powder. This is this one here. If you've watched me long enough, you know I use this quite a lot in my cooking. In real life, when I'm in Malaysia and I watch the professional chefs, they all use some kind of chicken booster, some kind of like flavor booster to enhance their food with, right? But invariably, when the recipes make their ways into cookbooks, someone at some point decides it's too controversial to actually admit that you use shortcuts like this or that you use MSG in your cooking, so they cut them all out. And then when people attempt the recipes at home, they find that they don't taste the same as what they remember when they ate it, you know, and that's generally the reason. Now we pick it up, please. Pick it up. Good boy, yeah. We put it up here. Good boy. No, 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 no. Give mama. Give mama. Come. Yeah, pick it up. Good boy, yeah. Come. Good boy. Now pick it up. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. And this, by the way, at the end of it, is going to store really well. You don't generally even need to refrigerate it if you're going to eat it within a couple of weeks, okay? I've had ones lying around for months. If there's anything that goes off in this, ultimately it's usually like the oil starts to smell a little bit rancid, but the meat itself is just fine. Okay, now it's also up to you how dry you want this. Obviously the drier it is, the better it will keep. But you know, if you like it quite like, you know, quite wet, then it, you know, you'll want to keep it in the fridge, okay? If you have it like quite wet, then essentially it's like a curry, right? But otherwise, the way you would use this is you would usually serve it with rice, like sprinkled like on the sides sort of thing, or like with sticky rice. It works really, really well with sticky rice. And you know what? You can even use it as like a, you know, when you eat those sushi rolls, you can actually use it as a sushi roll ingredient as well, like a Malay style sushi thing, okay? But this is the sort of stuff that we usually would eat with sticky rice or with like coconut rice or plain rice even, okay? So I'm just going to add some coconut milk to this, coconut cream. You have any leftover roast, you know, roast chicken or roast beef or whatever, just kind of like take it off the bone and throw it in the food processor and whiz it. Keep it in the freezer until you feel like you know, you want to have a crack at this recipe. Give it a go. Like I said, it's a good way to use up leftover meat or even fish or whatever. You can do this like with just coconut, like the shredded coconut. Or you can use dried shrimp if you want, you know, so there are lots and lots of ways to kind of like produce this dish, okay? And I'm just going to add the seasoning to it now. You can put soy sauce in it too if you want, you know, if you want like a Chinese touch to the recipe, okay? I'm putting some sugar. You want usually like a bit more sugar in this than you would if you were cooking a straight out curry, okay? And if you wanted to put the lemongrass, you could have, but like this is my only lemongrass and I want to save it for my next recipe. So far all I have in this here is just, you know, onion, garlic, curry powder, and then the seasoning stuff, right? I want to put some pepper in as well. When I was in Kelantan, which is the northernmost state of Malaysia in the peninsula, they actually had some shredded meat, granted made with beef, right, in their laksa, okay? By their own admission, they were just trying to be a little bit creative with that serving of laksa, okay? It's not normal for them to serve shredded meat with laksa, but that's just another way you can use it. But usually this, in Kelantan especially, Kelantanese really like their serunding, okay? So serunding, like I said, if you're just joining me now, it's just like basically shredded meat that's fried up with like curry spices and coconut and that sort of stuff. And then you store it like, you know, you store it in a jar, dry, and then use it as a condiment. You sprinkle it on your nasi goreng, your fried rice. So that's how I first came across it when I was in Kelantan. They served it with fried rice. But yeah, this is something that's really resilient, really, you know, works really well if you're out in the field. Kelantan is an agrarian economy, right? If you're out in the field, you take rice with you, you can pack it with some of this, right? And eat some rice with serunding. I'm just going to taste test this a little bit. I'm going to throw in, if you can throw in some fish sauce if you want. It just needs a little bit more saltiness to it, so I'm going to put a little bit of salt in this, okay? If you want to be more exotic, you can put in shrimp paste, belacan, alright? You can put in more chili if you want it spicy, but I'm going to be sharing this with Noah, so I'm going to leave it as is. Noah can actually take a bit of chili, but I'm actually delivering some food to 2 different families tomorrow from my church, both of whom have just given birth to babies, right? And usually mothers who've given birth to babies have other kids in the house as well, so when you deliver food to them, you have to cater to all sorts of taste buds. So I try and turn down the chili unless I'm pretty sure I'm the only person who's going to be eating this. Okay. So you can keep frying this until it really dries out. If you've got an air fryer, you can probably throw it in an air fryer. And you can throw it in an oven as well, okay? Just kind of like check on it every few minutes and turn it over and that sort of stuff. But if you don't mind it a little bit wet, right, you can take it out now. I'm just turning this up a little bit more. I'm very, very tempted to put some fish sauce in it. I'm going to do that. Fish sauce is very Thai Vietnamese. We don't actually use that much fish sauce at all in Malaysian cooking, okay? Though having said that, in Kelantan they have their own version of fish sauce, which is almost like a really strong, thick version of fish sauce. I brought some back, but I haven't used it. Let me just see if I can see if I've got it lying around. Okay, so this is what they call budu in Kelantan, okay? This is their fish sauce, and I bought this at their famous market called Pasar Besar Siti Khadijah. Let me just see, I haven't even opened it. I was there 2 years ago. It goes to show. Okay. So it says Budu is the name of, it's not the brand, it's the name of the product. BUDU. And it says it's instant Budu, you can use it straight out. And in Malay it says Sedap Jimat dan Mudah, which means delicious, economical, and easy. Okay. Let me just get something to put this in. I've got to be careful not to burn this, because as the moisture is reduced, the more easy it is for you to actually start burning it, okay? So just be careful, turn down the heat towards the end. It's pretty much done. I'm going to do a recipe that uses voodoo soon, okay guys? I bought it for a specific recipe but I haven't gotten around to it yet. It's not something you can easily find in other parts of Malaysia. In Malaysia, even though it's not a huge country, the cuisine is so diverse that that there's stuff that you wouldn't encounter in other parts of Malaysia. I never encountered this. Okay. Okay. So this is what it looks like. You see what I mean? Okay. How thick it is. And it's extremely like pungent, right? It's almost like shrimp paste, but in liquid form, as though you like got some shrimp paste and added a bit of water and kind of like mushed it up. That's what it tastes like. I'm gonna take this out because it is ready. Okay. Like I say, this will be pretty, this will keep really well, okay? It's like a really, really dry rendang. Essentially, I've burnt bits of it now. You can't see it in the light, but I know it's kind of random for me to be offering like giveaways that have nothing to do with Asian food, but I'm a big fan of Bon Maman, which is the brand of conserves that was sent out to me. So I offered to give them away to my Twitch followers. So stick around to the end to find out details on how you can get your jar of Bon Maman sent out to you. Okay, so there you go. That's Serunding. And on to the next dish. I'm just going to wipe this down quickly. Noe, you want to eat? Eat, yeah, good boy. Good boy. Okay. So I'm going to fry up the next lot of rempah, the spice mix. Gentle, please. Which essentially is just onion and garlic at the moment. Just let me clear a couple of things out of the way. And I'm going to actually use... Gentle, please, baby. You want to sit, baby? You want to go sit down? You want to sit. Come. You want to sit? Okay. Scraping this in. And so this is just onion and garlic. And I'm going to next blend the capsicum and also some tomatoes as well, right? I just happen to have some really old wilted tomatoes in my fridge that I want to use up. Because remember, we're making a very, very mild version of very, very mild prawn sambal, okay? And the reason it's mild is partly because I bought these capsicums super, super cheap the other day. They were $1 for like a whole bunch of them, and I need to use them up. But also it gives me an opportunity to show you how you can make a nice looking, nice tasting sambal dish kids can eat, okay? So I've got that. I feel like I need, no, that's all right. Okay, so tomato, in that goes. So that's tomato and capsicum in there. Just gonna whisk this. Come, baby. You help mama? You help mama? One more. Come to mama. Looks okay. So this was 9 seconds in the thermocook. I'm going to fry this up first. First I'm going to just reduce the moisture content in the onion, right? Then I'm going to add the oil. I know usually they say to put the oil, heat it up and then throw in the onion, but to me that just causes big amounts of oil splatter all over your work area. So I like to actually just dry fry it first. I'm going to throw in the lemongrass. Like I say, don't have it, leave it out, no big deal. Hey, silly monkey. You silly monkey. Are you silly monkey? I'm going to add the capsicum and onion and tomato mix in now. So this has absolutely no heat in it at all, right? Like I say, if you want, you can throw in some chili powder or some chili flakes in there. And I'm going to do that. No, come over here. Yeah, good boy. You want to come over to mama? You want to come to mama, baby? Now this particular chili, different types of chili powder, chili flakes, or this is actually labeled chili crush, okay? This is quite like potent in its heat, okay? So I'll just put a little sprinkling in there. Other types of chili flakes are really mild, but just kind of like use your own discretion. It's quite funny because Malaysians who come to Australia generally find the chilies, the dried chili brands that you can get over here to be like too hot, too spicy for their palate. We Malaysians, we like chili, but not as much as whatever varieties of chili powder and dried chilies they bring in here, okay? So you can see the amount of liquid in there. I want to, like I said, I want to get it to evaporate before I add the oil and brown it up, okay? And the next thing I'm going to do, I need to peel the onions as well. No, come over here, baby. Good boy, yeah. Good boy. Good. Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? Hmm? Are you a good boy? Hey? No, you want this? You want this? Yeah. Good boy. Okay, so it's getting there. I've got these prawns here, and I'm going to remove like head and tail. Okay. I know aesthetically, if I were doing this for my restaurant, I'd leave the tail on. Sometimes I'd leave the head on. But when I'm eating this at home, I'd rather just kind of like get everything off. No, we can't put it over here. And then I save the heads and the, you know, I set the shell for other stuff, right? For making stock with. So I will freeze this up. When you buy prawns, I always buy fresh prawns, by the way, like raw prawns basically. I never buy cooked prawns unless I was using it for my business. So these are what we call banana prawns in Australia. They're basically the cheapest, decent sized prawns available. That's why I buy them a lot. No what? No, please. No. Come over here, baby, come. No, baby, come. Come, good boy. Come, you wanna eat? You wanna eat? Come over here. Good boy, yeah, you wanna watch TV? Go watch TV, sweetie. Go and watch TV. You go and watch TV? Good boy, yeah. Okay, yeah. Good boy. No, we? Don't. No. You want to play with your ball? Where's your ball? You want to play with your ball? You want to play with your ball? No, we? You want to play with your ball? Where's your ball? Where's your drink? You want to get your drink? Yeah, drink. Where's your drink? What happened to your drink? Hey? Where'd you put your drink? You want to go and get your drink? You want to get your drink? Okay, I need to add oil to my chili mix, but I'm trying to rush through the prawns so I don't have to replace my gloves for the rest of the prawns. Okay. There you go. Okay, so this is pretty dry now. Add the oil. By the way, guys, just in case you either know Swedish or know Indonesian, one of the things I do, one of the 50 things I do, is that I'm co-founder of this online streaming startup based in Indonesia. We are on course to hit 1 million video views in the next couple of months. They're very new, but we're premiering our first feature film on our platform this coming Friday, the 23rd of April 2017, and it's called, in English it's called Hermit Monster Killer. It's a Swedish cult horror comedy. It had English subtitles, but we scrapped the English subtitles and replaced it with Indonesian for our audience. So if you know Indonesian or you know Swedish, you can actually watch it for free this Friday. Just go to Tbsp, T-E-E-B, tv.com, and it will be airing this Friday Indonesian time in the evening. Okay, go and check it out at tv.com. The trailer is up there now. But yeah, that's one of the many things. I've got my hand in. Okay, so I've got the prawns. I'm going to devein them quickly. I'm using a Chinese chopper. which is pretty much the only knife that the agents use. I need more oil in this, so I'm just going to throw a little bit more in here. You've been a good boy? Noe? Who spilled the tubby custard, baby? Who spilled the tubby custard? Hmm? Hey? Who spilled the tubby custard? Hey? That's like his favourite phrase at the moment. It's from the Teletubbies, in case you're wondering. I mentioned about using some sliced onion in there to kind of bulk it up a little bit, but I'm not going to bother now because there's actually quite a bit of paste in here after adding the capsicum. Okay. And the lemongrass, you're going to want to throw it out before you serve it up well. Usually we just kind of like let it sit in the serving dish, doesn't matter, but for aesthetic reasons you can throw it out, okay? I'm just going to add a little bit more oil. That's my prawns. I'm going to throw them in. Okay, as far as flavoring, you want this to be a balance of sweet and salty and also sour as well, okay? So for the sourness, I'm going to use tamarind. This is a tamarind concentrate, right? You can in fact use just lemon juice in this if you want, okay guys? So don't stress out if you can't find tamarind juice. Just use what you can get your hand on. Hands on. Okay, so I'll put in some coconut cream, and this is fairly optional. Some sambal recipes don't use coconut cream. I like mine coconutty, and I'm going to add a little bit of water to this as well. But again, of course, if you want just quite a dry kind of like sambal, you can leave the water out and just kind of like have it like a dry concentrated dish, okay? I like it to be saucy because I'm going to serve this with rice, okay? So this is the tamarind concentrate. Tamarind, you can buy tamarind like in jars like this, or different brands will come in different strengths, okay? So some of them are actually not tamarind extract, but rather tamarind paste, and those will be quite strong flavored. So just depending on how they're actually produced, just kind of like figure out how much you need, okay? And you can also buy tamarind pulp that you have to add water to and kind of like simmer to bring out the flavor, and then you want to kind of like extract the kind of like separate the extract from the from the seeds. Okay, so I just put in some chicken powder again. I'm going to throw in some sugar. So again, with this particular dish, you're going to want a bit more sugar than you otherwise would in your normal curry, because this dish is meant to be, like I said, sweet and sour, okay? It's not just straight out like salty. But of course, again, it's like a personal preference thing. Turn this down a bit, and I'm going to put a dash of fish sauce. It tastes pretty perfect. I think I want a little bit more fish sauce. You can just use salt, by the way, guys. I'm just like, you know, I like fish sauce, I use fish sauce. You can use salt, you can put a dash of soy sauce in it instead. I generally find that soy sauce, depending on the brand, depending on the type, it can be so strong flavored that it makes everything taste soy saucy. Okay, so just be a little bit careful when you're using stuff like that. Some people find that to be the case with fish sauce. I don't, right? But ultimately, you want the saltiness. Like I said, if you can just get from using straight out salt if you want. Okay, you want the sourness, which you can get from lemon juice. Okay, when I was in Malaysia, there was a particular recipe that we were filming, and they couldn't find this particular type of sour fruit, right? Because it was a little bit seasonal, and they ended up just using mango, green mango. Okay, so you can be like creative like that, right? So even we Malaysians have to adapt sometimes. Don't stress out too much about it. Okay, gonna dish this out. I'm just gonna grab some green onion for this. Hang on a sec. Okay, so there you go. That's the sambal prawns, and that's the serunding. I know the serunding looks a little bit, you can't make much from the display. And unfortunately, it's being winter and also being this time of the night as well. My photos never turn out great when I take them for this particular session because I've got all this artificial light going on, but hopefully I'll have enough of this left over by tomorrow for me to take some decent shots of it. But yeah, so if you don't watch this, if this is your first time watching it, this does actually, the recipes do appear on my website, which is just jackiem.com.au, and I look forward to seeing you in my next broadcast. Okay, thank you guys. See you later.